carving some space out. Today I wanted to do a emotional mapping meditation, and I've brought this up several times, and I haven't filmed one yet, so I'm excited to share this. I think it's really potent. I think it's really important to understand ourselves, and part of that is to understand our emotional world. Life is challenging. There are so many reasons and experiences and traumas that we go through that make us want to protect ourselves. It's very natural to want to protect ourselves, and feelings can be really challenging to feel, especially when we're younger and we don't have the resources to process things. So what happens is that we often find ways to run from certain emotions, things we don't like to feel, things that are uncomfortable. It's very natural. As humans, part of the human experience is wanting the things that feel good and not wanting the things that feel bad. Makes sense. But we can't selectively numb our emotions. So if we are trying to numb grief, or we're trying to numb anger, it automatically dims our ability to feel joy and love as well. So we cannot selectively numb our emotions. So throughout our lives, through all of these experiences that happen to us, and the different ways that we learn to protect ourselves and to cover and to hide and to push away, often we become a bit numb. Another thing I'll mention is often in our families that we grew up in, our cultures that we grew up in, there's a different scenario for what it's like to be raised as a boy, to be raised as a girl. But often we aren't raised in situations where it is okay and there's permission given to feel our emotions, and whether that permission is verbalized or it's a message that we got that it's not okay, like little girls, pretty girls don't cry, something that I've heard, or boys don't cry. Go wipe your tears off. Kind of saving face, this idea. I know that some cultures are more like that than others, and generational as well. And I'm sharing this to hopefully have you connect with one of those, like, oh, that resonates. That resonates. To help to identify, up until this point, a relationship with our emotions. So this mapping meditation that we'll do is about getting in touch with the emotion, not so much about the history of the emotion, the story connected to the emotion, but more to feel the sensation around it, where it happens in the body. Maybe there's a color associated with it. And just so you know, caveat right now is that some people will be very visual and you'll be able to see things. And then some of us will be able to feel it. And sometimes we can't connect. That might just be a day-to-day thing. Like maybe you connect next week and maybe not today. And then sometimes we've been numbed out for a long time. And it takes a while to really connect. So I encourage you to come back to this, or to begin to do it yourself. We're just reconnecting with our emotions, to know what they feel like, to get to know them. Ah, there's that. often we get the emotions switched. I know that I used to confuse anxiety with love. That anxiety was this like butterfly, a very similar emotion. That excitement must mean I'm really, into this person. When really what was under that was anxiety. Will he, won't he, will he, won't he, will he, won't he. Maybe some of you resonate with that. There's lots of really interesting things that come up when I do discussions on this, and we talk about this a lot in my merge class, in my recovery course, about really feeling our feelings, getting to know all parts of ourselves. And once we begin to bring one back in, all the other ones get a little bit bigger as well. So let's go ahead and begin. Maybe it's nice if you have even a journal, or to journal afterwards. Let's close our eyes down. I'm just going to connect and drop from the thinking mind down into the feeling body. Beginning to deepen the breath. And bring your awareness to your back body. Notice if you're leaning forward. Maybe lean back as if you were going to lean into a wall. Possibly you've noticed that you've been leaning forward, but lean back a little bit. Once you feel secure and stable here, roll the shoulders back just slightly and broaden the collarbone so you're a little bit wider from shoulder to shoulder. Opening the heart. I love this saying that Tara Brach uses, is that we have a strong back, a solid back, so that we are safe to have an open heart. So it's playing with the safety and vulnerability at the same time, the balance between reminding ourselves that we're safe in order to feel. And that may not have always been the case. So continuing to feel a strong, supported back body. And opening the front. Sometimes I like to think about like if there was a flashlight coming out of the middle of my chest. To even turn that light up just slightly, just barely tip it up. What that would do to the posture. Noticing any sensations, emotions that are present right now. And then see them and kind of let them go. Just acknowledging, observing. Welcoming. I'm going to go through 3 or 4 different emotions. And be sure to choose intensity that you can work with, that's sustainable. Especially whenever we go into a couple of the challenging ones. We're just exploring here and choosing intensities that are sustainable. Let's begin with a sense of ease. So contentment, also called santosha in yoga philosophy. Sense of ease and contentment and well-being. So we want to breathe this big in our body. And what I mean by that is when you inhale, you can bring something to mind of what brings you contentment. And you can allow the inhale to imagine that you can kind of flood your body with it, like you were bringing it in and spreading it around. So maybe bringing to mind quickly a person or a place or a furry animal or a smell, something that just kind of sets you at ease. Like sinking into a hot bath. Cuddling with your pup or your partner. Or watching a sunset. Whatever it is. Breathe that feeling into the body. And notice any sensations that come along with it. What does it feel like to be content? To be at ease? It can be really challenging to identify, to put language to a sensation. So just explore. Maybe there is a warmth. I often notice like an effervescence, like a little bit of a bubbly carbonation. Just like a gentle effervescence. Notice what it is for you. And maybe there is a color attached. Maybe you do see a color. We want to kind of imprint what this feels like in the body so we begin to know that sensation. There's that. Spend a few more moments here. Mapping out, surveying sensation of contentment in the body. Maybe take your hands to your knees. Just take a few rounds of spiral in the spine. Just to move that emotion around. Go both directions. And maybe you even shake out your hands, like you're flicking water off your hands. Come back to stillness. Take a big drink of breath in. Exhale out the mouth. I'm going to move on to sadness. So choosing, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the saddest. Maybe we're going for a 6. Bringing up some sadness in your life. Maybe it's something that is really alive for you right now that is very easy to conjure. Maybe it's a different time in your life, a memory. So we can use the story first. We can use the history of an emotion, and then we want to let the history go. Let's take a moment with the history, the story around the emotion. So we can breathe it into the body. So when you inhale, make it big in the body. We want to allow ourselves to feel this so we can explore it. Remember that you're safe. Remember this strong back, that you're safe, an open heart, and you have an ability to feel. Safe and receptive. So allowing yourself to feel sadness, this tenderness, a crevice in your heart. And when you feel like you've attached to the emotion that it's alive in your body, we can set the story, the history to the side and just explore the sensation as if you're an objective observer. Where is it in your body? Maybe place a hand there. Continuing to breathe. Is there a color attached? What does it feel like? What are the bodily sensations of sadness? About 3 more rounds of breath. We're notating, investigating, observing how it shows up, how it makes itself known. One more breath here. And full exhale. You can take the hands to the knees. Keep the eyes closed and just spiral the spine. Moving anything that needs moving, both directions. And maybe shake it out the hands like you're flicking water. And stillness. Just coming back to neutral, coming back to clear. Adding breath. I want us to invoke now anger. So thinking of something, a 6 or a 7 on the scale of anger, something that grinds you. Maybe this is something that's going on now and it's really easy to reach for. Maybe this is an old resentment that's been festering for some time. Take a few moments with the history, with the story of it, so that you can breathe it in the body and it can be felt. It can show itself, reminding yourself that you are safe, strong back, and you have the capacity to feel open heart, open front. And allow anger to express itself in your body. Notice what happens. Notice the tiny shifts or maybe big shifts that happen in the body. I noticed I got like a shudder kind of around my throat. Our sensations are unique to us, so feel in to what it is for you. Is there a color? What are the sensations when anger is lit up in your body? Anytime you need to make it bigger, breathe big. Investigate this sensation. Where do you feel it in your body? Maybe placing a hand there. Just one more round of breath. Inhale. And exhale, spiral the spine. Take some audible exhales. And then shake it out the fingers. And then one more, we'll end on joy. So contentment has this sense of ease and well-being, and joy maybe has a little bit more excitement behind it. Maybe there's a little bit more of a leap and a bound. This is more of a highly carbonation for me. So notice what joy feels like. So something you can imagine, even something that when you think about it, you cannot help but crack a smile. Like, that feeling like, yes. And notice the demeanor change in your energy, the sensations in the body. Where does it live in your body? And does this joy have a color? One more inhale, breathe it big in the body, let it spread itself around. And exhale, release it out. And again, let's spiral around. Both directions and shake it out the hand. And just placing the hands in the lap or on the thighs. Anything that you need to do here, if you want to take a full body shake, if you need to flutter your lips, take some exhales, if there's anything that feels residual, shaking, moving the body is really helpful. And then just thanking yourself and honoring the bravery to go in and open up. So thank yourself for that. And we're going to begin to come back into the present moment. Just a couple rounds of breath. So maybe noticing your fingers on your thighs, noticing the sounds around you. And slowly opening your eyes. So maybe that was really resonant and connecting. Maybe that was really challenging to dive in. So whatever happened or whatever didn't happen, welcome that. There's always a message in there. And maybe some did and some didn't. But rather than thinking about I did it well or I didn't do it well or it was good or it was bad or those were bad emotions, those are good emotions, just a reminder that we need all of our emotions, that they're adaptive messengers. So they give our body and give us messages of how we need to maneuver and navigate and express ourselves. And often it's been a long time since we've been able to listen to those messages. So we're just coming back around. So I invite you to spend some time with your journal. Maybe going back through, writing the colors, the sensations, and just your experience in general. This can be quite provoking and provocative work. It can bring up a lot of things as well. So be gentle with yourself. I would love to hear how this went for you. And I really invite you to come back to this or try it yourself, adding different emotions. And I'll leave you with one question to journal on. And this is a discussion question that I like to use in my groups is, what feeling are you most unwilling to feel? Maybe you know right away. So what is the most challenging emotion for you? And why? I think that is a beautiful inquiry. And self-inquiry, this inner investigation, it is just the most beneficial tool. It has been one of the most beneficial things for me and one of my biggest tools of self-discovery. So I hope that you took something from this, that it was helpful in some form or fashion. Please let me know. Please let me know. And yeah, I look forward to hearing about it. I'll see you next time on your mat.